Alright, so we're playing the WZ-120, which is, in my opinion, a very bad tank. It's got terrible gun stats. The gun handling is really bad. 5 degrees of gun depression. We'll see how it goes. And this is a corridor. The one thing it does have going for it, it's got a pretty good turret. The cupolas at close range are fairly easy to hit. I think easier to hit than Russian tanks, but and they have, and it's got good alpha, but you have to set your shots up so much it's really not worth it. That's why nobody plays it. So we'll see. And it looks like we got a bunch of TDs which are going to go on the water side, which is not very advantageous. Because water side you can't defend the cap as easily, so it's really much more important to play on like the 1-2 line, in my opinion. We do have kind of a good split. I can't go middle because there's really nothing I can do middle. The thing you need with this tank is hills, but just gently sloping hills so you can face your tank a little bit downhill. So hopefully it looks like the enemy sent quite a bit over to the other side, or I'm hoping, because right now we don't have any top tiers here. Oh, we have a Super Conqueror, but the trouble is we are not really set up to beat these guys if a lot of their heavies are on this side. That Cent 7-1 is... So that alpha is really quite nice. So this tank is not a tank that I try and get big damage, like keep my gun rolling, because we were able to track that guy, which is great. But as you can see, getting gun depression for me is quite difficult. And staying hull down while getting gun depression, very difficult. So if this 183 fires, we're going to go ahead and fire on him. We do need to load gold rounds, but I don't know if I'll get a shot. Hopefully this Conqueror eats the shot. So we're just trying to make it so he can't hit us. For whatever reason, my numbers aren't working. And this Artie's fapping on me, which is... It's going to be an expensive game. Numbers still aren't working. So I'm kind of waiting for this T10 to have to turn around, but it looks like he just fired, so... Well, that was a poor game. Didn't help that my numbers aren't working. I don't know what the deal is there. Alright, let's try our T10. I don't know if Windows Update screwed up or what, but made it so I couldn't use my numbers. I hope I can this game, because it's pretty important to be able to repair quickly, you know. Okay, this side is the less optimal side, quite honestly, and anyway, in that last game I overestimated my speed, and anyway, is what it is, right? But we're mid-tier this game, that's okay. This thing excels when it's hull down, so we do have a disadvantage in the field, so I'm fast enough. I may just go straight city and try and play from a TD position just to start. See if I can help my team out. The trouble is with these maps is they're so small that, I mean, you get spotted in the first 10 seconds on sometimes on encounter, and that can be really unfortunate. So they've got a bunch in the middle, so we really can't push like I'd want to. Go ahead and take a blind shot here. That may have hit because he has to push really where he's not hull down at all. I'm guessing from our IS-7, from his position, that he is not a very skilled player. Because he should be up front here. Are you kidding me? Okay. So he did pay. Unfortunately, I bled off a lot of health there. So they don't have much in the city. with that 1114. I want to get away from him. And he's doing something smart. He's pushing out the wreck. So I don't really want to face that if I can help it. Saw that AX fired, so I'm going to go ahead and take my time, get the shot. So what I don't want to do is get tracked out in front of this Skoda. So that puts the Skoda into kind of one-shot territory, which is fine. I'm also a one-shot for almost everything on the enemy team. So... Wow. Can't believe that E5 hit me there. That's what I was worried about. Okay, well, our IS-7 is bad, and so we could still win this game, but we'll see. Alright, let's play the E3. This is a tank that is a very strong tank, but I'm notoriously bad at it. I don't understand why. I got a 51% win rate in it, and I feel like I've tried everything I can. I mean, I've fired full gold out of it. It just relies on people to sit in front of you. And the IQ of the people that want to sit in front of you has got to be really low. People that sit in front of your tank are just total morons, because this thing, you need gold rounds to pin it. I mean, basically, you can't even pin the cupola without gold rounds, so this is a very good map for it. It depends on what side you're on, though. From one side, it's just too far to cross all the way across, so the best idea, so this is the good side. No, it's not. It's not the good side. But there's no arty, and that is extremely helpful. So the advantage on heavy corner, which is over here, goes to the other team. So it's much better if your team does not cross and try and fight that, but generally people are bad enough that it doesn't really matter. Usually the skill of people matters much, much more. The trouble is they can get you in a crossfire as you try and cross and get down to the lower road. And if you don't get to the lower road, then it's very tough to win. So because there's no arty, I'm gonna try and pick a good position to sit in and not expose my tank, because I've got extremely good armor as long as I don't get surrounded. So what I'm trying to do is just suppress this E4, the IS3, IS7. So it looks like we're going to win this side, to me. We've got a lot of stuff down there, including a JP backing them up. So I made a foolish mistake. And now I got a guy pushing me. Oh. Okay, well, that battle's over. I don't know what to say about that. You got to blacklist people like that. I was willing to move out of the way, but just not when he wanted. So that's the trouble. You know, if he wants to play that game, he'll get banned eventually, I guess. So, the IS-7 is it's a good tank, but the WZ-5A is a much better tank. It's got much more DPM and a pretty close to the same armor. They're both pretty tough hull down, but the DPM is amazingly better on the 5A. And I don't know about the gun handling, if it's better or not, but I do believe I have a little bit more health, but it really doesn't make up for the DPM. The problem in corner fights is when you fire, if you don't have backup, you're going to get roasted, because people are just going to come around the corner on you and out DPM you. Anyone could. So we have a super conqueror that Michelle is a very good player. I haven't played exactly with him, but I played on his team and played some endgame situations, and he is extremely good. So the IS-7 is extremely fast for a heavy, as you can tell, and it's got excellent turret armor, and the whole armor is not, oops, watch my driving, is not fantastic, but it's not bad. Against lower tiers, it's pretty good. In a tier 10, all tier 10 game, wouldn't exactly call it great. So I think that Sheridan is trying to sucker people out into the open, and it seems to be working. Also, the pen on this gun is not fantastic. So I mean, I can sit here down here, hold down all day against this guy, so if he wants to push, but I don't have a lot of backup, so I don't plan on pushing hard. This Patton's gonna get nuked. What'd I tell you? Well, it makes a nice hold down for me. I do love the sound of this gun. And we're gonna get overrun here, so I do need to run away. I need to run away before they figure out this Type 4's alone. So this 4005 should know better, and to me it's like absolutely retarded that an E3 would sit that far back. But what are you gonna do? Our Super Conqueror is doing really good, but so pushing forward at this point is stupid, because if they have an advantageous position, you know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous to try and push forward. And that Super Conqueror is holding it down though. So there's always going to be people that are ticked off, like that TVP. I mean, come on, half our team is stuck at base, so why am I going to push forward? At this point now, it might be an okay idea to help out our Super Conch. So the only problem is I might still be lit here. trying to counter push and gain us some ground here. Okay. Well, that was an extremely poor game. And I do well when my team sets up well, but when they don't set up well, I have a hard time. It's just one of my shortcomings. I'm working on it. Okay, let's try this E3 again. This E3 without Artie is insane. But even if you just have one Artie, they're gonna focus you because you're hard to dig out. So the thing is, you want to use your armor, but you don't want to be that close. And heavy side is too close. There's not really a good spot to go on heavy side. So I, I don't know where I'm going to go. I might play support for the heavies to start. In all tier 10 matchmaking, you have to be really careful. And we do have some stuff going middle, which is great. I'll try and line up a shot on anybody that tries to go up that hill. But no such luck. I would like to support this TVP if I can. And looking at the enemy team, a lot of the enemy team is
So did he show us up again?
Yeah.
is sitting.
I know. Doesn't that just piss you off?
That really does.
I know.
Like, I'm grateful, but really.
I know.
It's like someone.
I'm glad it
And of course, when I shoot,
I tried to.
Yeah.
I don't feel.
Fix it. Yeah.
and how do you bounce an object 140? But whatever. Waiting for a good shot on this E50M. And I think that was it. He went dark, but man, that guy is so brave. Brave is the nice way of putting it, I guess. Okay, we gotta get prepared here. Luckily, that guy doesn't have good view range. Looks like that went in. Okay, their arty is up there. So you can see the armor is pretty insane on this thing. So our heavies did not push, and they should have pushed. So, you know, whatever. That's why I play up front a lot of times and end up dying. Try the IS-7 again. Yeah, I missed 2 or 3 easy shots too there, and part of that was me not guessing that they would try and recross. Most good people won't, and so it's kind of sad that they did, but whatever. Let's see if we got any blind shots there. Oh, guess we'll never know. No, Artie. That's nice. So the IS-7 is okay at facing lower tier heavies, but really you should almost always go to the cap. Because if you can win the cap side, you know, then you just turn it into an east-west and you have the cap, so you can put pressure on at any point in time that you wish. And generally only bad people go to the heavy side, so on encounter. So I don't know. I don't think, if I can bully mediums, I'd rather do that, get some damage out, and then hopefully win the game that way. Because once you have higher numbers than they do, it really doesn't matter if they've got a JPE and an IS-7. You know, anyone can pen an IS-7 from the rear, so the key is winning the other side. So the things I'm thinking I might see are the Object 140, which he's a severe threat to me, don't get me wrong, but as long as I have teammates with me, I should be alright. So R140 is kind of going into a position I don't care for, but whatever. So I'm gonna push because I am lit, but we'll see what's back there. Okay, if they don't want to fight, we'll bully up the rest of these guys, or at least light them. I think that Conway is probably pushing. No. And that's okay. You didn't have to push. So they got a bunch of guys that don't want to push, and we've got 3 guys on cap. This poor Panther 2 is the only guy that's really doing anything. Oh. Yeah, 2-2 victory because they decided to push the wrong side. $1,800 damage. That's not going to help the old Win 8, but that's okay. So that Conway had no choice. I mean, what's he going to do? He's got no armor. And the T10 was in an okay position, but you know, that JPE needed to push earlier, but the problem is with the JPE, if you push too far, you get tracked and surrounded. So I get it. Even if you're top tier, you have to play to your team to some extent. I am not very good at this map. There's just something about it. Poking fights in city maps, I'm just not very good at. And because this has a pike nose, I get myself into trouble often in it. So also you really have to watch what your team does in the middle. So this is great. Most of our team is not going towards the valley side, which is great. So we're going for a shot into the spotting bush just because there's nothing there, I can tell. Doggone, my driving tonight leaves a little bit desired.
Say that about my driving mornings.
Yeah. So Leopard 1 should really, really, really not be there. He's now tracked. I should have waited for him to turn, but it's alright. So Object 430 is asking for help, which he's a good player, but okay, we've pushed him off the middle, so because of that, I wish this 430 would quit losing health. So we don't know exactly what's here yet. I want to poke and see if... It looks like they have an O-hull and a Type 5 over there, which means that's one of their top tiers. So I'll take that trade all day. And if he's gonna let me sit here and... That was a nice roll on his part. So I can just ignore him for now. He wants to shoot at me, that's fine. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now it's time to turn back, probably, and defend. So if I can get there in time... This Oho has no chance of capping. The leopard just fell off the edge, or he jumped off the edge, I don't know which. Okay, I've got to load some gold rounds. And I'm going to push in because I am the top tier heavy and just get lights. I think that T55A is trying to figure out is so we're just, this is free damage, baby. Oh, I missed his track. Okay, time to push in on that Type 5. He'll probably do 500 damage to me. He just fired, so he is gonzo now. So not a great battle, but 2,800 so far. Not terrible. Probably won't get a lot more, but who knows. That T-44 was smart. He saved his health. So occasionally, like that 705 was focused on me, and which is kind of unusual. I don't know why he was so laser focused on me, but it prevented me from getting more damage. Let's see. Yeah, he's not that great of a player, but anyway. So I just, you know, I'm not going to take unnecessary damage because of that point the game was fairly close. If it had been towards the end of the game, I probably would have taken damage and just to get damage. So this map actually is quite good for an IS-7 because you are so much faster than other heavies, but Pardon me. Except, of course, I'm facing an IS-7, but I'm going hill, and hopefully we have some people that go with me. Although it could be a odd fight on hill because they don't have. They have a PTA which is not known for making aggressive plays because the modules on it are so weak, you know. And I'm seeing we don't have a whole bunch of help either. So it's unfortunate to get lit that early, but whatever. So it's never a bad thing to tell your team what you're doing and what happened and that kind of thing. Boy, this is a tough sell though. The only saving grace is that I am top tier, and we'll see what that IS-7 does. If he's up on the hill, it's gonna be a tough battle. In fact, we're gonna load gold right away. Just because I need to pin that IS-7 every time if he's up here. The thing is that you'll see that like really good players, they don't they might make that this play, but they really try not to be isolated. And right now I'm kind of isolated. I don't know what our 1-3-2-1 thinks he's going to do up here, but we'll see. So it'd be nice if our PTA did come. I mean, I can probably help. Okay, there's the IS-7. A VTU I could care less about, but we'll see if this guy's any good. And I don't think he is, just based on his positioning. Oh, he did. Man, getting some serious lag. So because he got stunned, I'm going to go ahead and come up on this hill. And I'm going to try and punish his help. And he just fired. So I know I can get a shot. And so I'm already safe, he is not. Okay, we do have one guy behind us. That's okay. We just keep these guys lit, then so we're switching back to standard rounds because why not? So we're kind of, I feel a little bit bad we're bullying, but the trouble is we've got... So he does not have the gun depression to hit me. And again, he's taking serious arty damage. So I'm just trying to keep him lit. So what we're going to do is load HE. Okay, that was fairly bad trade. Okay. Okay, because the game is basically won, I'm going to try and get in towards arty. This might be a mistake, it might not, I don't know. It ended up being a good call because 3,000 assists, so that's a 7,000 game. And someone had to push in there, so I was fine being the one. So I don't know how that light tank did not get spotted with me coming down there. I probably should have hugged the outside more, but whatever. Indignant Beaver, I believe he's a fairly good player. Anyway. So we got 3 kills there and 4,000 damage and 3,000 spotting. 3,500 blocked, and so that ended up being a fairly good game. Let's see how what that IS-7's like. He didn't have much help either, but I decided to push and he did not, and my arty was focusing and his arty wasn't. So that's a first class. That's a decent game. So I wanted to see what kind of player he was, basically. He ended up getting 2,500 damage. Not so good. So that 1390, or that Indignant Beaver, I want to say, oh yeah, he's a decent player. So in the right situation, the IS-7 is a very good tank. I'm not super good at it, obviously. You know, I let that guy hit me for damage when I shouldn't have, twice. So I should have baited a shot and then pushed over, just pushed over and committed. But yeah, live and learn. I do not like this map whatsoever. especially with Artie. There's no Artie on it, so that's going to help. I feel like the enemy has a much better chance of taking the one line, because if you look, this is much closer to their side, and the city is just suicide to push. Because if there's anybody, usually there's someone sitting back here that just pummels you as you exit city. I'm not so worried about taking damage when I go to the city, because quite honestly, I am not, I take an outside line in order not to get damaged. Like this T30, just a retarded play. You know, he is way too far forward. So is that ISM. They're likely to get spotted and worked, but we'll see. And this low, even worse. And this Tiger 2, even worse. So if you look at the map, we really don't have anything other than middle and city. So, and the city just plays so slow. They don't appear to have much metal. And see what I'm saying? T10 is up there already, causing mayhem with these guys. And until he pokes, there's nothing I can do, really. I mean, I guess... Wow, 0 to 7. Dang. It's not even worth... I mean... My goodness. The whole team went city and they all died. So going city is a bad, bad plan. I guess maybe in the future I'll try going one line and see if I can defend that correctly. Because that T10 just bullied our tanks. I mean, I get it. You're a bottom tier. Why are you going to that corner alone then? But I don't know. Okay, this is an interesting map. I mean, there's one Artie. So, and they have a JPE, which this thing in the right position deals with JPEs really well, because I've got way better DPM than him, and if I load gold, I can just pin a superstructure all day long, unless he is rocked back. But generally, it trades pretty well with JPEs, which doesn't seem like it should be, because I only have 750 and he has 1050. But then again, you just have to get him to not hit one shot, and then you're good. So, funnily enough, it does not trade well with E100s one-on-one, because an E100 can face hug you and just load heat and pin you right through the top of the tank, basically, through that sloped armor, I think. I don't know. I've fought a lot of E100s, and you don't want to face hug them, and you're not you're not fast enough. Let's see if this guy sticks around long enough. So, yeah, and they have more health than you, and they can circle you. That's how slow this thing is. So I don't want to get spotted as I cross, because I'll take damage from all sorts of stuff over to the right. I don't think they have a lot over there, because they're leaving. So we're going to see. This is a dangerous poke here. But I don't see anything here. So we're going to push up on these guys. There's a Type 4. Okay. So I've lost too much health. KB's moved up now, I can go help. So Type 4s, like, what was that? Okay, and that's why I don't play this thing very often. I'm just bad at it. So I want to like it. That's the thing. I want to like it. Alright, should we try my 45% 430 FU? This thing has good armor. I'm not very good at using it yet. Pretty good at the 430. I'm playing it a little too aggressive, I think. So I used to play the center area here, but they've changed it, and there's a big gap there. You can get hit really easily there. Really, the most dangerous tank to me is that Batchat T25 AP. As long as I can keep my armor faced towards him, I'm okay, but in reality, he's fast, obviously. I have incredible turret traverse for a tank with this much armor, but nevertheless. We're probably going to lose the field unless my team decides to do something. So we'll see. They have two Arties, but the Arties are... they're not in a fantastic position, usually. Dude, seriously? Okay. Okay, they've got a lot over there, so... Oh, here comes a GF, which, fine. What a waste of a light tank, but not my issue, right? Well, that was kind of a dangerous play looking at it. But I think I might try and push up deep. Because I do have quite a bit of help here. That Lorraine smells blood.
Go take set doses.
Go ahead, pop out again, dude. See what happens. Okay, they don't have much over on this other side, so I want to go bully those guys if I can. Doggone it. Oh, okay. So I'm bad. Let's face it. I'm too aggressive is what it is. I know where we should have gone, but we weren't pushing that way, so whatever. I am just sucking it up tonight. My stream title is fitting. I play for too long at a time is part of my problem, but part of it is just being too aggressive, as you may have noticed. Aggression is good, but I've noticed the good players, they are only aggressive if they get into a position that is way better than their opponents. And because there's so many TDs in this game, and both arties hit me, you just you have to play safer than I play. There's a bunch of missions. I wonder. Of course, I can't see the missions, but so most of the tanks I know how to pen. That M454 I have a hard time penning. I know it's got a decent sized cupola, and maybe that's the ticket. That's the only place, but or I think the corners, if you angles. So the forest is the important side on this. I've heard the 705A is not very good. We don't have a bunch of help here, but that 4005 can be quite a formidable tank. So sitting in front of or in the middle of that field is a very unwise decision. So I'm just mostly trying to spot for my team. And I'm watching the other side because I don't see much yet here. I don't believe that STB-1 has been spotted yet, so he's not taking any fire. So we need to skedaddle and get towards the middle. So if we can work this guy down. I'm gonna leave that guy there because I don't really care about him. Okay, that was an okay game. Not a great game, but when they don't send anything forest, you can win it pretty easy. How's that a third class? I don't know. It seemed like I did very well there. This map is not my favorite. The team that pushes first dies, basically. There is a great spot for an IS-7, but with RD it's not as great, and it's right over here. It doesn't show it, but there's a little low wall here that you can get spotting from and be hull down, and so that can be pretty great. But the trouble is if you push, on your side, you die. So it really is a game of patience. And, you know, picking the correct spot for your tank, because what you don't want is to get spotted out early. And if you're in a Type 4 heavy and you're trying to come to this side, you're going to die. So I'm just hugging this wall because I did get spotted. So there's got to be someone out there somewhere. The 705 is got a death wish, in my opinion. And all of my guys are going low road, which makes no sense whatsoever. You want to get up here to where you can spot the enemies. The Sheridan's doing a bang-up job. So I want to get close to this 705 if I can. It's too bad I got spotted there, but them's the breaks. Oh, if he'll be looking my way, probably not. So this spot is really hard for the enemy to deal with because oh wow. I gotta stay here until I'm unspotted. Knowing that there's two Arties here, but so I'm toying with the idea of crossing. I bounced that, but whatever. Okay, that 57's a one shot now. Nice, 2 already kills. Okay, I'm never making it, so sit in cap. So that was kind of a run-of-the-mill game, 3,500 damage. I'm no quickie baby, but, you know, it's a decent game. I don't know what those guys are doing, fooling around, but... Well, they took their time killing them, but it's okay. Normally I'd jump out of cap there, but in reality, if they couldn't kill one single STRV S1, I don't know. So it seems like the XP modifier on this is much greater than other tanks. Like my American tanks, if I got that kind of damage, I would never be near the top of the team. So, I don't know. I think we're going to end the stream there. It was not a great stream, but that's okay. I appreciate anybody that watches, and if you want to subscribe for more, please do, and we will catch you next time.